Okay, welcome Blue Valley community. This is Tonya Merrigan, Superintendent in Blue Valley, again on our podcast Unmuted. Today I have with me Kelly Ott, who is the Executive Director of Curriculum Instruction and Innovation and has led our efforts around the different learning modes that we're doing. And so welcome, Kelly.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
So Kelly, tell us a little bit about learning modes for second semester. That seems to be the big hot topic right now.
Right, so we have opened up a selection period. It's going to run through November 16th. As it was before, there are two choices, an in-person and the virtual option for families. And we're asking folks to make a selection for second semester over the next week or so.
So tell me what the in-person option, because I know that doesn't just mean in-person full-time, because we have not even done that for all of our buildings yet. So what could that mean for second semester?
Good question. So if you select in-person, your student could attend school in one of three formats, depending on the activity of the virus and other factors. So it could mean that your student is attending school full-time, 5 days a week, physically in school. It could mean that they were in a hybrid mode where we're trying to limit the capacity of our buildings. So your student would go about half the time. Or if it would call for it, we may make a call and in-person would actually go to distance learning if it were deemed safest for our community.
Okay. And so that is what the in-person experience would look like. And our board, just as a reminder to our listeners, that our Board of Education has adopted the navigating change gating criteria that was approved or accepted by the Kansas Board of Education earlier this year. So that's the criteria that we will use to determine what Kelly just talked about. So talk to us a little bit about what a full virtual experience would look like second semester for students.
So it would be very comparable to what first semester was. We have a few minor changes, and we can talk about those in a little bit. But it is a full-time experience with school. Students would need to be available for schoolwork or Zoom lessons during normal school hours. Students can expect to have the full curriculum. Granted, it may look a little different being delivered through instruction just because of the format that they're learning in, but students get the Blue Valley experience with a Blue Valley teacher.
So let's talk about elementary. Are there any changes to elementary for the full-time virtual experience now?
Right, so these changes that we're going to talk about here are a result of, I think we did 10 focus groups with various stakeholders. So also, we conducted a couple of surveys and obviously have talked to many folks throughout the semester about their experience. So the changes that we've decided to implement are based on feedback and making sure that we have the best experience for elementary students. At the elementary level, there will be very minor changes actually. And across the board, when we talk to stakeholders, one thing that was clear was that families would like a little less screen time and a teeny bit more time with their students asynchronously. So we're going to implement that and kind of temper that, but not a ton, but we are going to implement a little bit more. The other thing, and this is for all levels, is just we're going to improve the end user experience on Canvas so that things are a little bit easier to find and maybe more consistent from page to page. So those are what's in store for elementary.
What about middle school?
Yeah, middle school. The thing that we wanted to try to accomplish with middle school is ensuring that our elective teachers and students could have more synchronous time. And we're working with the middle school principals and counselors to make sure that happens. We're looking at eliminating the 20-minute maximum and getting rid of the schedule that limited students' ability to have live sessions with their elective teachers. To do that, virtual learning skills and physical education will become completely asynchronous classes in the spring. And we feel very comfortable doing that. We've been successful with having PE completely asynchronously for several years at the high school level and actually 2 years at the middle school level. So we know we can provide a high quality education in physical education asynchronously. And again, that improved kind of end user experience with Canvas is in store for middle school.
And then finally, what can our high school students expect?
High school probably has the biggest difference, and it'll be in the area of scheduling. We will be able to eliminate the need for students to be double booked in almost all cases. And that means students will go to a 1 through 7 block type schedule. We'll still follow the block schedule where they'll have half their classes on one day and the other half on the next day, like the in-person students do. But they will be scheduled, they won't be scheduled on top of each other. And this will eliminate the need to limit live sessions to 45 minutes. Teachers and students know how important it is for them to connect, and not just for direct instruction, but for assistance and questions and small group work, and that will free our classes up to do that.
So you just mentioned, or we mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, that the date is coming up. So what is that date again?
November 16th, which is interesting because I believe our district's going to make an announcement also on November 16th.
Right. That's our next time when we are scheduled to release our learning mode and what we're going to do, again, according to that gating criteria after the Thanksgiving holiday. So I've had some questions, and I know you have too. Why do we need to do it the 16th? Because that's almost 2 months early from when second semester starts, and who knows what the virus is going to do between now and then.
Right. So the time is needed to realign schedules. Anytime you have a movement, which we believe we're going to have a movement of a number of students moving from virtual into the in-person setting, that means we need to look at how we deploy our resources. That includes human resources like teachers. So we have to go through making sure our staffing can support both the in-person and virtual teachers the best we can make it do that, which will mean some changes. We'll have to relook at master schedules, and then we're going to go hand by hand, do hand scheduling for all of our students to make sure things are right. To get all of that done and give our counselors and teachers and principals a winter break, we need that time to get that accomplished. Goal, though, would be after winter break, that first week after winter break, student schedules are released. So that gives families several days to look at it, and if there's any issues, to resolve those before class starts.
So even if you're switching from in-person to virtual or virtual to in-person, we have to hand touch all of those schedules, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
In order to ensure that they're right.
Absolutely.
So again, that decision needs to be made by November 16th, which is next Monday. And Kelly, where do they go to indicate their interest or their desire to change?
The simplest response to that is to go to the Blue Valley website. It's front and center on the Blue Valley website. You will also see postings coming up this week on social media. Principals have included information in newsletters, and you'll receive another email and a text over the weekend. So there's lots of entry points, but I always direct people to the Blue Valley website.
Awesome. So Blue Valley website, front and center. If you could do that by Monday, November 16th. And then what if people forget to do it? What happens then?
If they don't submit a selection, we are assuming that students are wanting to stay the same. So there will be no changes made unless it's initiated by this process.
Awesome. Well, Kelly, I appreciate you spending a little time with us today and talking about this. And I also appreciate all of your work this year in allowing us to have both of those options for students.
Thank you.
Blue Valley community, thank you for listening in. And please remember to take a minute if you're a parent and to select your learning mode for second semester. Go to Blue Valley website by Monday, November 16th.
That's right. Thanks for letting me be here.